Hello, my friends, and welcome. My name is Jeff Burchell. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about some of the most common problems for new internet businesses. But before I do that, I want to set the mood, and I'm going to go ahead and light a little candle over here. Give everybody a second to get settled in. I've invited some of my other team members to jump on the hangout as well tonight. Somebody may come in, may pop on while I'm speaking tonight, and that's fine if they do. More than welcome to jump in at any time, guys. You're welcome. So I'm going to give everybody just a second to get settled and go ahead and light my candle and set a little mood. Try not to burn my hand here. See the little pumpkin candle over here. Once again, my name is Jeff Burchell. Welcome tonight. I wanted to make this, I wanted candle out. I wanted this to be a little bit intimate. I wanted you to be able to sit back and relax with me and listen to me just introduce myself to you tonight and let you know that first off, I'm just a normal person. I was actually the shy guy back in the school days. I was the introverted, the skinny kid, and doing something like getting on a video hangout like this at one time was actually terrifying to me. But over time, I've just kind of stepped into different places in my life and tried different things. So here I am on Wednesday, February 11th, 2015, coming to you live from my home office, my padded room, and that's a story for another time. You're just gonna have to stick with me if you ever want to hear that story. But I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. Very young age, I got this idea in my mind that I wanted to be an architect. I've always been a very technical person, very um, excuse me, interested in how things were put together. I can remember getting toys when I was a kid, and the first thing I would do is get out the screwdriver and completely take the toy apart to figure out what was inside. How did it work? How did that little train run? I was very curious like that. So that engineering type technical drafting really appealed to me. In high school, I took drafting classes, took architecture class, and about 18 years old, I went to meet an architect to try interning. And it was probably one of the biggest dream killers I've ever experienced in my life. The guy sat there for about 30 minutes telling me how hard it was to become an architect, all the impossible things that you have to overcome, and then the horrid hours. And I sat there, and by the time I left, not only did I not want to intern with the guy, but I had no desire to be an architect anymore. So basically, at that time, I just started drifting like a lot of us do. I started a car wash and ended up working at Taco Bell. I was an assistant manager at Taco Bell because that's just where I landed. I didn't really choose to go to work there. It just, my friends were working there. The opportunity came up for me to work there, and I ended up at Taco Bell. From there, I went into the sign business. Growing up in Las Vegas, the sign business is a good thing to be in there. Over the years, I've been a part of building some of the most iconic signs in Las Vegas, and it's really become a passion to me. The sign business has become a passion to me, more than just a job or career. I still am in the sign business today. I do things much differently. One time I was a draftsman. I used to sit in a dark room, sort of like the padded room here, but I would draw signs all day. I'd sit at a CAD computer and lay out parts and the technical drawings for signs. I never spoke to customers. I never got out in the field really, and that was okay. That was where I was at in my life, and I was just the shy, introverted draftsman in the dark drafting room. But today, I've really shifted my life in a whole new direction, and I'm actually the consultant for the company I'm with right now. I'm actually going out making sales and bringing new customers and bringing new business in, and I've been able to do this through years of experience, through experiencing some of these common problems that I'm going to share with you tonight firsthand and personally. And I it seems to me, I'm no expert. I don't claim to be an expert. In fact, I have devoted a big portion of my life to continual learning. I believe that um, some of the most dangerous words that we could ever say are "I already know that." So I never want to say that. I always want to continually be opening my mind and experiencing stuff. And that's probably, what, how come being an entrepreneur is so appealing to me, because I can see my little, my candle burn and my little reflection there. It kind of threw me off for a second there. So I don't even have the slightest idea what I was talking about now, because my distraction got me. But growing, in the sign business, doing drafting, we had lots of cool equipment, lots of machines. We had lasers that cut out sheet metal. We had um, routers that cut out parts and pieces. And fabrication and that kind of stuff really started appealing to me. So at some point, and this is the first common mistake, is having a product but not having no idea how to market it. So I got this bright idea to start doing metal art in my garage. And I'm gonna bring up the little candle holder here that I lit in the beginning. And this really is actually to demonstrate, this is a piece of metal art that I actually made. And what I did is I bought a plasma cutter. And that's a little bit different than like a welder or a torch. It uses electricity, plasma, to actually cut out shapes out of sheet metal that's made out of actual steel sheet metal. So what I would do is I'd create these little templates and I would lay them on the sheet metal. I would draw them on, then I'd take my plasma cutter and cut them out. So I started out, and it was coming close to Halloween. So the pumpkin. I made a whole bunch of these candle holders. I made a bunch of ones that were little bats. I made some wall hanging ones, some desk mounted ones, and various, items. So I would have a small selection. I made about 4 or 5 of each of them. So this was an incredible amount of time and work to create these little pieces of art here. And then I got me an Etsy shop because I thought, that's all I need to do is just, if you build it, they'll come. So I got my Etsy shop and put my little candle holders up there on Etsy. And I can still remember hitting the publish on that last posting of my last product and just sitting back thinking, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up to tons of orders and it's going to be worth all the work and effort that I put in. And to my surprise, when I woke up the next morning, there wasn't a single order, nothing. So I figured, well, there's got to be a way to get the word out about my little Etsy shop, right? I had no idea what marketing was. So I started with the Etsy community and found little groups and places that I could share. And over the course of a couple of weeks, excuse me while I take a drink of water here. I got into their little communities and actually got a little traffic to my Etsy shop and sold one candle holder for $8 and put it in a little box and packed it, shipped it off to the lady, and the next couple days later I get an email from her saying that it was broke. The side had fallen off, and she offered to send it back, and I said no, I'll just add another one made, because I made 4 or 5 of each of them because I thought for sure that my little metal art was going to be my way to my fortune. And I boxed her up another one and sent her off. And I never sold another thing on the Etsy shop. That was literally the only thing I made. I spent hours and hours and hours creating all these little trinkets that over time I've given a few away as gifts. I've got a ton of them still in a box back there behind the blue curtain. But I had no idea about marketing. So what I ended up doing was going through this process of just devouring informational products. I was buying anything that was related to internet marketing, all of these guru click button, we'll send 10,000 visitors to your website a day. And I just started buying up all this stuff. And next thing I knew, I was in complete information overload and had all these different blogs and capture pages and all this other stuff. And none of it was even related to even marketing my Etsy shop. And it actually led me in a very confusing direction that was really a big waste of time. So like I said, that having no marketing experience is a big common problem for new internet businesses. It's most of us aren't we didn't go to school for marketing. Some of us didn't even finish high school, like myself. I got my GED, and all of my experiences on the job training, everything I know today has been through my own initiative after school and picking up books and going to seminars, going to events and stuff, just so that I can learn more personally. But marketing is something that a lot of us don't have the slightest idea about. And without marketing, the next part, I'm sorry, some of you might think this is a dirty word, but without good marketing, sales is almost impossible. And that's leading to the common mistake or a common problem number two for my little presentation tonight. I've got a couple of them here for you. So many years ago now, in a different type of business, I thought I found my golden ticket. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those big hotel presentations. I got this call, or I don't even know how I got invited to it, to be real honest, but it was at the Palace Station in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was in their little conference room. And I go into this room. There's a lot of people, probably 200, 300 people in there. I need another drink. I apologize. And I don't remember really a single thing about the presentation. I remember them telling a lot of stories, and I don't remember the stories at all now. I just remember kind of thinking, when are you going to get to the point? I can see that this is it. I'm gonna be filthy rich in this. This is it. And what it was phone cards, and it wasn't really the phone cards that got me excited. That was just the business was a new business, and that was their launch product. And but they had mentioned in that presentation at some point that they were going to start rechargeable debit cards. And this was a few years ago. This was back in 2000, early 2000s. I don't remember the date specifically, but it was before you could everywhere had these prepaid debit cards. And the other catch was going to be that, like, if you bought the debit card from a 7-Eleven or a convenience store, you could go back to that one and recharge it there, and then the business owner would make a commission. I'd make a commission again. So in a way, it was kind of a residual thing. If people kept recharging these cards, or they even called into the 800 number on the back, we would make a little commission again and again. So basically, I invested everything I could possibly had at that point into becoming a phone card distributor. And part of the deal was, after you gave up it was well over $10,000. I don't remember now. Maybe it's a suppressed memory, because it was quite an experience, and it wasn't a failure. Now I don't look back on it as a failure. I look back on it as a learning experience, but maybe I've suppressed a little bit of it. So I bought in. I racked up all my credit cards to become a phone card distributor, to have a territory in Las Vegas that was going to be mine, and they would even set up my first 25 stores for me. They'd send out their team to get me rolling. So over the next 6 weeks, I'm in desperate anticipation of my starter kit coming to me with my first 2,000 phone cards, my flyers, my posters, and all that good stuff. And it all comes to me, and also the list of the 25 businesses that they had set up for me. And I started going around to try to meet my new clients, my new customers. And a lot of them had no idea who I was, what they were for. Some of them had thrown the phone cards away. One was behind 3-inch bulletproof glass on a very shady part of Las Vegas, and he actually pulled a gun. And to say the least, it wasn't a very encouraging experience. It was actually a very discouraging experience, and I had no sales skills. I had no ability to show these people a vision of the benefits associated with that product, to show them, to give it a chance. And if you do this, we'll be able to start earning residual income. And I wasn't the only one who didn't know how to market, because there was, like I said, there was a room of like 250, 300 people there. And when we went back to the distributor meeting, there was still probably about 30 of us that had, invested in, become distributors in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, think about that. 30 people distributing phone cards in Las Vegas. It was so ridiculous. There was no training. There was no marketing beyond the flyers to hang in the windows. There was nothing on how to approach the businesses, and sales. Just it at that time, in my perspective and a lot of our perspective, because of society, I had a negative look on sales. I wasn't interested in any sales training. I wasn't interested in developing my communication skills. I figured I had this good product. That's all I needed. I just had to go out there and hustle. well, at the peak, because of the work that I did and because of a hard work of my best friend who was working for free, not even profiting from it. Um, at the peak of it, there was 63 convenience stores in Las Vegas that had my phone cards, and I was actually making a little bit of money at it. But I made the decision to move here to Oklahoma. That was the first time back years ago. Um, at that point, the phone card company was starting to dissolve and fall apart. By the time I got here to Oklahoma, it was out of business, and the 2,350 of the 2,500 business cards or phone cards I originally got, I still had in the box, and eventually ended up throwing away. So I wish I would have kept a couple of them just as a little reminder, as a little token. But at the time, like I said, I didn't understand. I thought it was a failure. I thought it was something I did, and to an extent, it was. There's a lot more that I could have done if I knew. But sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. Sometimes our best thinking gets us somewhere in life, but then we need a little more to keep moving, and that's where I found myself experiencing these common problems with home business, internet business, network marketing, direct sales, even offline business. It really doesn't matter, because these principles, these are actually um, more of a psychological based ideas that cause failure. It's our beliefs really that cause most of our failures rather than their circumstance. Because if there's a will, there's a way, right? I mean, we can look at examples throughout the past of let's take Apple for example, and they let go of Steve Jobs for a while there. Their stock prices were plummeting. They were on the verge of bankruptcy, or they were in bankruptcy. I'm not even sure. They bring Steve Jobs back, and he pulls the company out into record profits to become one of the most iconic businesses around today. And that's done through belief. He believed so much in his vision and in his passions and what he was doing. There was nothing that was going to stop him from saving that company. So, of course, we can always do more, and there's always that opportunity to reflect and say what different things could have I done, and what different results would have happened, and then not in a negative way, but in a way to think, okay, I've learned from that. Now I'm going to take that experience and I'm going to move on, so that I don't make that mistake again, so that I have a better understanding of of what I really want in life, because that's a big factor. If what you're doing does not fit and align with your values and your morals and your ideals in life, it doesn't matter. At some point, something's going to happen that is going to tear that apart. And it's all about following our passions. I was just had a long conversation with one of my best friends, and we were talking about, where do you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years? And where I see myself personally is doing what I'm doing now, because I'm feeling so fulfilled in being able to make this video and show you a better way, to show you, some of these mistakes that I've made and how to avoid them. You don't have to take these same roads. You can get the marketing training right up front as you're learning and marketing. Earn while you learn. Oh, and you can get the sales training today. As I mentioned, how did I make this conversion? How was I able to, or not conversion, transformation? How was I able to transform from that introverted, shy draftsman to now going out there hustling business for my company, and then also going out there and hustling business for myself, and leading people and helping guide people to hopefully a new future for them as well, a new decision for them. And it takes passion. It takes, I know what I want. I understand what my purpose is, and being part of freeing 100 families a year is something that I can not only buy into, it's something I can believe in, it's something I can share, it's something I can get behind, and know that I'm doing the right thing. So when you're able to get your training, get that information, that technical stuff, that insider stuff, the marketing, the sales training, so that you understand how to communicate with people, you understand how to put a better message out there to attract better people in the first place, that eliminates two of the major headaches and problems that business owners of any face. You know, a lot of businesses, if you look at them, they're not salespeople, and that becomes a big struggle when they need to step into that role in order to continue growing their business, in order to get the revenue they need to even maintain their business. So I gotta have one more drink here. The third most common problem for new internet businesses, and once again, you know, this is from the way I see it, in my opinion, in my experience, because I am not an expert, but in my experience, the chasing the next hot thing is also one of the biggest things you can do to actually defeat yourself. Because once you get momentum, once you start getting a better understanding of where you're at, and you see the shiny ball bounce by and you jump on that wagon, you've got to start over. You've got to go back to that land of learning, and you're completely back at stage one. So over the years, and like I said, from experience, I've done this myself. I jumped into the affiliate marketing bandwagon. So I was promoting every single ClickBank launch that popped up, whatever the next new hot item was this week, and I didn't even buy the products. I wasn't even a consumer myself. So if somebody was to ask me, hey, what did you get from it, there was no way I could tell them. So why did I think I was going to have success following that model? That was just craziness. And then the next one I saw, I've been interested in network marketing, direct sales for years and years. I was 12 years old the first time I saw the circles on the whiteboard, and thought to myself, man, if he can do that, I know I can do it. And just the whole idea of the passive pipeline income has always been something real just flattering to me. It's something that I'm working on. I continue to build, and if you're not, I encourage you to focus that a big portion of your energy on starting to develop a pipeline income yourself, because security's gone. You know, the days of pensions, long gone. Nowadays, it's all about investing in your own 401ks, but then we see the stock markets dissolve overnight. We see oil prices go up and down on the whims of people just making decisions to undercut the other, and not thinking about that this is a time of profit for all of us. You know, instead of taking low gas prices and us all running and the economy booming, we're all there doom and gloom. What's next? So shutting off a lot of that crap is important, and getting the right tools, getting the right information so that your focus stays in the right direction is just crucial to success. The biggest problem most people have, the biggest failure reason in network marketing, is people just quit. I've seen this over and over and over again. Personally, I've enrolled over 115 people into Empower Network. Just yesterday, my 60th customer bought their viral blogging system, and I only have a very small handful of bloggers left, of people that continue to use the blog, and that's because people just quit. They just give up. There was nothing I did wrong. There was nothing I could have done more to keep them. It's up to them. It's up to you. We each make our own choice. We each make our own decisions based on what we first off know what the resources we have access to. Because sometimes we just, like I said a little bit ago, we just don't know that we don't know something. And if maybe there's just something that you need to learn to get you out of the rut you're in right now, and maybe that is through the sales training or the marketing training. You know, that I found myself in a rut in my life. I found myself in a really, really bad spot, and it was sales training that got me through. It was understanding how to communicate with people, how to talk to people, so that I could let people in. Because I was struggling inside, and I had the world blocked up around me. I wasn't letting anybody in, and all I was doing was feeling more and more pain. It was when I was able to start communicating, when I was able to start sharing, when I was starting to let that stuff out, that I started to heal. My inner being started to get better. I started to gain strength again. I was able to regain control of my life without chemicals. You know, for a little bit there, they put me on clozapine because I was having such bad anxiety attacks, and I felt so out of control with the situation I was going through. And I don't know if you know what clozapine is, but it's a high-powered sedative. One pill makes you into a zombie. And after a couple days of being on that and feeling like somebody else, feeling like a zombie, um, I decided I had to find a better way, and I had to stick with it this time. I just could not chase those shiny balls anymore. I couldn't go after the next hot launch. I couldn't go after the next new business that popped up with this comp planner or whatever. I had to find a place to plant my flag and get the information to pull those resources back up out of my inside so that I could take control of my life and step into this future that I'm living in today, this new reality that I've created. Because today I'm not the introverted draftsman. Today I'm the salesman. I'm the guy that goes out and makes deals. Today I'm the one that is reaching out, influencing people's lives because I'm so confident in what I have that I know that when you make the decision to at least look inside, you may see the same little vision of the future that I saw that got me so excited almost 3 years ago. I'm still with it. I don't plan on going where those shiny balls, I've seen them. I've almost chased them again. Almost a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, one of the guys in the business, in the blogging business that I'd followed and was considering a mentor. He quit. He moved to another company. He was just starting to develop a lot of traction. He was starting to have breakthroughs, have his first $10,000 months, and was in kind of the same position I was in. Was just starting from scratch. He started with the very basics, and over time built up to where he was all in and owned all the products and became a very inspirational guy. He still is. He's a great leader. But he moved to another company. He decided that the blog and Power Network was not for him, and he thought that there was better opportunity for his team, for the following he gained in another company. And I almost went there too. I almost went with him. I came very close because I've experienced these struggles. You know, why is it that 3 years into this blogging, I haven't achieved more results than I have? And you know what? I've achieved lots of results, and I'm very proud of the results I have. I'm and continuing to have. So that's not a big deal to me. It's part of my journey. I'm getting there. It's just taken me a little longer to hit these bumps. I didn't have a mentor or a sponsor that reached out to me, that did the mentoring with me. And that's why I've made it part of my commitment that I've got to do that. When I joined, I got a phone call, and it was, hey, learn how to make $500 online. So I jumped onto this website because I was curious. I put in my email address, and a little while later, I was blogging. I never got a welcome call from my sponsor. I never got an email from him other than marketing other stuff to me because he was one of the guru product launch jump guys. And eventually he quit. So I went to a new sponsor. And this guy never reached out, never built culture, never built team, never did any training, never did anything. So I had to figure out where I fit in myself. I had to figure out how to put all these pieces together myself. And I found a team. I found a group of mentors that I latched onto, and they latched onto me too. They welcomed me with open arms and allowed me into more of the community part of the blogging business. Because at that time, it was really about the sales. I didn't understand the community part about it. For me, it was just, hammering out those sales. And once I realized that it was more of a culture thing, then it really, really even settled more to me that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the business I've always been looking for. This is my home, and I don't care how shiny those balls are. I'm sticking with this no matter what. I made the choice to not jump over to that other company, and yesterday I read a post that they went out of business. Their owner came out and announced that they're closing shop, and I feel horrible for all those people that were in that business, all those people that had invested their heart, soul, and energy into the future of that company and building teams. And right now, a lot of people probably feel homeless. And then, you know, I like I said, I feel for those people. And on the flip side of that, I'm really glad that I didn't jump ship. I'm glad that even though things weren't going perfect here with the blogging system, there were some adjustments, some trials that we were going through ourselves here, that this was still my home. This is where I fit in, and I'm here for the long run. And I know with the changes they've made with the new Klaatu blogging system, the amount of resources and investment to build that kind of platform, it's not somebody would do if they were thinking about closing shop in a year, 2 years, 5 years. What the leaders and the owners of this company are doing, the marketing team, the development team are doing, is making sure that we have something that is always marketable, making sure that we have the training that's always viable for the time, so that you're getting the very best marketing information. We're not learning marketing techniques from 3 years ago. The training is from a few months ago, and they update it over time. I've seen this over 3 years. I've seen the evolution of the products, the blog platform itself, the training inside, the different promotional funnels that we get access to, different ways to show the business to different people. And that reminds me, the formula. You got to stay tuned, because I'm going to reveal the formula here in just a little bit. But over the past 3 years, I've seen this development and this process happen. And if this was somebody or people that were just in it to make a quick buck and run, I promise you, we wouldn't have the technology we have right now. They would have already cut and run when things got tough, when things got a little sticky. A lot of people jump ship, but the owner, his vision to free 100 people a year, and he just keeps speaking it. He keeps speaking it and keeps speaking it, and every day we step closer towards that vision. And I couldn't be happier to be part of it. I couldn't even dream of another place I would want to be than a part of this community and this opportunity to change people's lives. So that third common mistake is just not having focus. You've got to have focus. No, the big secret to success is it takes hard work, determination, and focusing on what you really want. And that's important, what you really want. Without knowing what you want, at some point your motivation is going to die off, and the struggle isn't going to be worth it. That's why a lot of failure happens, is sometimes we just get to the point where the crap isn't worth it, and we'll even take a big cut in pay to not have to deal with that anymore. And that's okay, because if we're not living by our purpose, if we're not following our own dreams, if we're not pursuing our own passions, then we're not really living, right? And if we're not really living, then why are we even here? Why were we put on this earth? I don't believe we were put here to be drones and be set in this one path and rut in life, and that's our only option. I believe that we have the ability to achieve anything we desire. If it's humanly capable, I believe that you can achieve it. I believe I can achieve it, because I believe that I'm no better than you and you're no better than me. I believe that we're all equal. Some of us have spent more time learning to be masters at particular things. It doesn't make them a better person. Just because somebody is a pro golfer, for example, or a pro athlete, a pro football player, doesn't mean they're a better person than the draftsman at the sign company. It just means they chose different routes. It means they chose to start earlier, probably, in some cases. A lot of times we look at younger people and wonder how can these guys achieve so much success so quickly, but we don't look at the backstory. We don't look at all the years of personal development behind that. We don't look at all the years of them selling other things or doing other marketing or other training. And then when they come out and have their big success, it's really easy to pick it apart and say, oh, well, he's got some kind of special talent. He's that guy, and then I could never do that. That's a real easy excuse to make and justify for maybe the shit that you're in, right? I know I've done it. I've used excuses many times in my life. It wasn't my fault. It was their fault. It was the product. Nobody likes it. It's the blog. Nobody actually blogs. Well, if I'm not actually blogging, if I'm not actually doing those daily actions, then I really don't have room to complain when nobody else does, right? So you got to lead. You got to take initiative. You got to be willing to do more than the average guy. You got to be willing to, on a Wednesday night at 7:30, jump on a hangout and expose yourself to the world. Let people know that you're real. Let people know that, that you're not some robot hidden behind a machine hitting send on the emails all day. That you've got wants and needs and desires and goals and dreams, and you've got a vision for the future that other people fit into. Because there's no way I'll ever achieve my dreams and my goals if I don't help you achieve your dreams and your goals. If I don't latch into and become part of freeing 100 families a year, how can I be one of those families that gets freed? How can you be one of those families that gets freed if you don't embrace the entire thing and say, you know what? I'm going to learn marketing. I'm going to learn sales no matter what. I'm going to learn to stay focused. I'm going to drop it right now. Are you ready? Here is the formula to success. You blog daily, you share with others, and you get paid. And what's amazing about this formula is that it actually works in anything. I've applied this exact same formula to my sign sales, and it still works. Blog daily, tell others, and get paid. It's a little bit different for different businesses, right? But you use the marketing tools to let people know that you're there to send little soldiers out there that are bringing back customers to you. Every single blog post you put up there is a piece of real estate that works for you, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Every time somebody types in that keyword or, comes across that link of yours and then clicks, that page is going to work for you. That's marketing working for you. There's ways that you can do advertising and so that you can increase your marketing and your influence and your reach and your voice to other people. And then as you work on your sales skills, as you're able to communicate better, you can start to give people a vision of the future that they fit into, where, it's real easy to get focused in what we want. But it becomes more of a challenge. It becomes taking communication to start helping people to see what they want, right? To start painting a picture of a future that is not about yourself. It's about other people. And that's why this idea of that helping 100 families a year, you can be a part of that right now, regardless of your experience. Right now, today, you could jump in, you could click the banner below this video, and you could become part of a movement of helping 100 families a free a year. And wouldn't that be something if you're one of them? And then you help another, and then you help another. It's kind of a snowball effect, and it's a snowball of life-changing, just an incredible opportunity. It really gives me hope. It gives me the ability to dream a future that not too long ago was real blurry. I had started to lose sight of this dream. We all were dreamers at one time. We all had this vision of a future and what we were going to grow up to be and do and experience. And as we get older and we start to experience things, sometimes we allow others to influence us, to give us some bad programming, and then we start to settle for things, and then we start to put our dreams aside, let them fade off into the background a little, become smaller and smaller, and in some cases, some people just let them go altogether, just resort to whatever life hands them, right? Well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want for you. That's not what I want for people around me. I want all of us to prosper. I want to help you. I want to guide you through, avoid those mistakes. Avoid trying to do it on your own. You don't have to. Avoid trying to create your own product. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be a guru. Avoid the idea that sales is a bad thing, because it's not. You're a salesman. We all are. We all have to sell ourselves every single day, and from relationships to husbands and wives to dating to our jobs. Even no matter what you're doing at your job, if you don't believe you're in sales, stop doing your work and see what happens. So, and then focus, focus on your dream. What is it going to take to achieve your goals? How can you break it down into chunks that are attainable today, tomorrow, and in a month and in a year, so that eventually you're on that path. Eventually you're living with a purpose that's guiding your every single thought and every single action. And I don't know about you, but just the thought of that, imagine what that would feel like every single day, to wake up knowing that you're changing lives, that you're making a difference, that you're contributing real value to people all around you. It's I can picture it. I can feel it. I know what I want, and I believe that, if you've watched this long, obviously you want more too. Obviously you're committed to your future and committed to the idea that you fit into this vision somehow. Somehow this blogging all fits into your picture, and you might not even know how yet. You might be just dipping your toes in so far. Maybe you're just going through the level up sequence and just starting to get those glimpses, and just doing those three things will really help you tremendously. Focus on marketing. Learn how to market. Learn how to attract people. Learn how to create a capture page. How did I get you on my subscriber list? Chances are, if you're watching this, you came through my Paid to Blog Daily website that was marketed on a classified site or somewhere like that, right? So learn how to market. Learn how to get in front of people. Learn how to catch them and break their state, so that they're like, hey, what is this all about? I'm going to go ahead and check it out. So learn how to market. Learn how to get your message out there. Then learn how to sell. Learn how to speak to people. That's really what sales is. It's communication. It's not. Think back on our conversation tonight. Have I sold you anything? Have I said, buy this? It's starting at $20,000, but if you act now, tonight it's going to be 10,000. But wait, if you hurry, I'll do it for 5,000. No. It's not like that. What I'm talking about sales. What I'm talking about is communication, and I'm talking about effective communication and persuasive communication. Because honestly, a lot of people need a little guidance. They may not even know it, but a lot of people need persuasion in a positive direction, because we're dragged in so many directions every single day anyways, through the media, through the news, through the crap. You don't think we're being manipulated by the messages on TV, then you're just silly. Okay, so what would we rather do? Would we rather be persuading people in a positive, enlightening, empowering manner, or using, sure, you could use this for bad intentions too, but that's not what this is about. That's not what this training is intended for. We're not here to learn how to be slimy salespeople. We're here to learn how to affect people. We're here to learn how to change people's lives and give people the ability to reach into themselves, grasp hold of their own resources, and pull them out. I don't have to teach you anything. In fact, I won't. I'm not going to teach you how to blog. Okay? I'm not going to teach you how to format your blog post. I'm not going to teach you how to embed a video. I'm not going to even teach you how to embed a picture. If you want to learn how to do that stuff, get on YouTube. Look it up. There's thousands of videos. I don't have to do that. Neither do you. I want you to really keep that in mind. I want you to see how this marketing that I'm doing is really unobtrusive, right? I didn't call you. I'm not harassing your phone. If you're watching this video, it's by complete free will. It's your choice. But there must be something. There's a reason why you've watched. And that's because over time, I've worked on myself harder than on my job. I've learned how to communicate in a better way so that I could share a message with you tonight. Sure, I could have jumped on tonight and I could have made a 3-minute video. Okay, the common problems for new internet businesses. Number one is no marketing. Number 2 is no sales, and number 3 is no focus. And my name is Jeff Birchall. Have a great night, my friends. I could have done that, but you wouldn't remember it. Instead I shared a couple stories with you, right? I shared the story of my little pumpkin candle holder here, right, as an example of not knowing how to market. Then I shared the story of my phone card business as an example of how I didn't know how to sell. I had no idea how to not get a gun pulled on me when I went in a convenience store. And then the third story, I talked about that company that I almost jumped into, and one of my mentors did, that went out of business, to talk about focus, to talk about that, I didn't jump ship, and I didn't have to reset my business. I didn't have to reset the progress I made, because I stayed focused. I stayed true to the decision I made when I got out my credit card and I went to that Join Now form and I entered my information and I hit submit. I made a decision at that moment that this was it. I wasn't going to do the shiny ball thing anymore. I wasn't going to chase the businesses anymore. If I was going to become successful in the internet marketing off, the the unconventional way, it was going to be with Empower Network and with this blogging system, with this opportunity, and that was it. Or I was going to be an employee for the rest of my life, and I don't think I could live with that. I just don't. I'm just not wired that way anymore. I don't. Getting a paycheck is not as important as living with purpose. I've given up the paychecks. A couple years ago, when I was a project manager for that big sign company in Las Vegas, I was literally making 6 figures in a sign company. I was making great money, but I was not happy. I was not doing what I was put on this earth to do. And I was able to walk away from that happily, with confidence, with the vision of a new future, because I've made different choices. I've decided that entrepreneurship is what I really want. It's my passion to be a business owner, to create jobs, to create wealth out there. Giving people the information that's inside of this blogging system. This is actually $1 million business. It's been proven. We've got 15 verified millionaires now. So this is literally $1 million business if you choose to be, if you choose it to be, if you believe it to be, if you believe that you can and do have the ability to achieve those kind of results. You can. There's no reason you can't. No reason I can't. I have big goals, and I fully intend on reaching my goals. And so what if it takes a little more time? So what if in 90 days I don't hit my goal exactly that I've got right now? At least I've got a goal. At least I have a purpose in life. At least I'm not cruising Craigslist looking for jobs. At least I already know that I've found something that can make a difference. So I'm sticking with it. I'm not giving up, and I know that eventually, over time, as I continue to work on these skills, as I continue to share this information that I'm learning, I'll continue to get benefits in my life. The more value I'm able to put into the marketplace, the more value that comes back into my life. And the more I can influence people, the more I can help them make decisions, the more I can help them see that all they have to do is make a decision. And if they click the banner below, then get started, they've already made one of the biggest decisions, and that's just to go ahead and give it a shot. Go ahead and see for yourself. We could get online, type up the reviews, and is the Empower Network a scam? What are people saying about Empower Network? You can do all that, and you're going to see all kinds of crap. Okay, you're going to see people complaining. You're going to see people bitching and moaning, and most of them, I want you to look a little deeper and see what they're really promoting, because chances are they're promoting something else. But you could do that, right? Or you could decide to try for yourself. You could decide, you know what, $9 is not that huge of a deal. $9 is actually a very, very low amount to get full access to see if this is actually what you want, if this whole thing fits into your life, if the level up sequence makes you smile. And if it doesn't, they give you option all throughout it. They ask you, they right there and they say, look, if you don't like what you've seen so far, you can go ahead and cancel and get a refund at any time. If you don't want this, we don't want you here. I mean, honestly, I've done that. I've worked with the people that just joined and but were just tire kicking and weren't really in it, and that was just a waste of time for them and me. I'm really focused on people that want to make a difference. I'm focused on people that are committed to blogging, committed to learning marketing, committed to learning sales, committed to getting on hangouts and the weekly Empower Hour, the daily mindset calls. Because I know if I invest time in those people, then they're going to start growing too. They're going to start growing teams. They're going to start building their business. And if I can help them over time, the rewards will come to me, right? And that's just the way life works. Those were the words that when I was in that rut, when I was in that dark place in my life, when I shut off the TV, when I shut off the news, and I opened my mind to a different message, the message that I heard was from one of the greatest sales trainers ever. I wish now that I could have had the opportunity to meet him while he was alive, to thank him, because I really honestly believe he helped me through one of the darkest times of my life. And he said some words that forever will change my life. And he said, if you just help enough other people get what they want, you can have everything you want. That was Zig Ziglar who said that. Hearing those words, I mean, I just got a little bit of goosebumps saying them out loud, hearing them again myself. Triggered that memory, that thought of hope. It gave me hope. It gave me hope in the future that if I open myself up, if I allow people into my life, if I share the experiences that I've gone through, if I share the knowledge that I've gained, and keep myself open to other wisdom, so that I'm learning and sharing and doing all at the same time, that over time I will make a difference, that I will have an impact on enough people that things will dramatically change. I want to always be coming to you from the padded room here in Shawnee. There'll be a day when the backgrounds around me start changing as I continue to step into different parts of my future, as I step into the realities that I'm creating, as I continue to set goals and have a purpose that I'm living by. If you don't have a purpose, if you don't have goals, ask yourself, is your life spinning around? Do you feel out of control? Well, that's why. It's because you don't know what you want. You don't know where you're headed. You don't have your compass set in a direction. You're like a ship with no sail. You're just at the mercy of the sea. How long is it going to be before you crash into the rocks without a sail? You've got to have direction and goals and that purpose and knowing what you want in life. That's our sail. That's how we set our direction. And if you're not happy where you're at right now, let's set a new direction. And we can do that. We can do that by making choices. We can do that by extending ourselves a little. Sometimes we have to, get into a real place of uncomfort and really extend ourselves in order to achieve the results we want. I know when I went all in, when I had to make that big investment to buy all the products, it was I had to really extend myself. It was a big decision to put that kind of money down. And now looking at it, that investment has actually made me way more, because it's given me the ability to communicate better. It's given me the ability to market better. It's given me the ability to stay focused on my message and my sales. That is the biggest thing that we develop here. Inside our products, inside our training, we develop people. Our product, our flagship product is the Viral Blogging System, and as I've mentioned, you can try it out yourself anytime you want by just clicking the banner right below. But our real product, the real outcome of this is people. It's you. It's me. It's It's us choosing to be a part of this, choosing to take hold of it and run towards a new future together. And as we influence other people and allow them to make better decisions themselves and step into their future, it just makes us all stronger. It gives us all more ability to change, more ability to affect the world in a positive way. There's enough negativity out there. Let's be a part of something that is changing lives and contributing back. You know, we've got leaders that are building wells in Vietnam. We've got leaders that are traveling through third world countries, donating their time to missions and churches and that kind of thing. We've got people that are paying off their church's debts. We've got people that are, for the first time, paying off their personal debts and credit cards and getting into a place of freedom again. Over the past couple of years, I've been able to make a little bit of extra money. I've been able to put a little bit aside and grow my business more with it. And you know, there's no guarantees of results. Let's be honest here. Let's all be adults and click the little income disclaimer at the bottom of the page here. But what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for tomorrow? Because if that's what your mindset is, if you think, oh, I'll look at that later, well, that's how it's always going to be. Later will always be tomorrow. If you're thinking, oh, that seems like a scammy little thing, well, then I don't really want you here anyway. So go ahead and click and get out of here. We don't need that mindset at all. And honestly, if you're not ready to just take action too, if you're not ready to not just dip your toe in, then you can go too. I just want to be honest here. I just want to be real with you. I want to be upfront and let people know that, you know, I'm looking for other people that are willing to run. I'm not looking for people to just waste my time and drag us all down. There's enough of that when you go to work, right? There's enough of the people that want to drag you into their crap and destroy your day. That's not what this is about. This is about lifting you up and letting you know that I believe in you, that when you take action, when you make a decision, not only do I believe in you, but we've got a whole group of people behind me that believe in you too, and you can achieve some results in life. You can achieve the future outcome that you desire. It's all in decisions. It's all a series of decisions, some of them bigger, some of them smaller. And you can decide to just go on. You can decide that, that was interesting. This video is okay. Or you could decide right now, yeah, I got to at least see. I've got to know for myself. I've got to understand where this all fits. Then go ahead and just click that banner below. On the next page, watch the video and lean in close to your screen. Lean in real close to your screen and pay real close attention and engage in the screen. Go through, click the map, click the little pictures on the map and watch the little screens pop up with those videos and get to know some of those people. As you do, as you see it, I promise you, at some point you're going to think to yourself, man, if he can do it, I know I can. And then you're going to put your email address in and you're going to get started just like that. So what are you waiting for? My name is Jeff Burchell. I hope you enjoyed my video. Make sure to check back the same page next week, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be here sharing, inviting my team out. If you're on the team, come out next week and let's share some more. Let's help other people understand what we're doing. Let them know that we're real and that we're people too, because it makes a big difference. You know, it helps. And we'll just continue to do this stuff. We'll continue building, continue sharing. I believe in you, my friend. Thank you for your time. Have a great night. My name is Jeff Burchell, and I am out.